Daily stock market update, 21st of November. The US market has already opened. Eli Lilly has now become the latest trillion-dollar company. Which other companies might be in the lineup for this? And just to give you a rundown of which are the big trillion-dollar companies, Nvidia, Apple, Microsoft, Alphabet, Amazon, Broadcom have already reached that. So has Meta, as you'd expect, and so has Tesla only just. Berkshire Hathaway hasn't quite hit that. I'm converting this now to pounds as well. That's at 827 billion pounds. So it's on the brink of $1 trillion. Eli Lilly has reached. So who could be next? Well, you'd really be looking for Walmart, JP Morgan, Visa, Oracle, Exxon. Be next in line if indeed they go in that direction. I suspect that's not a bad set of companies if you've got a long enough time period to hold them, and that means 12, 36 months, maybe even willing to hold for 5 years. Where are we on the Dow? Up 700 points at the time of recording. That's unusual. It's 1.5%. 700 sounds large if, like me, 25 years ago when you're doing this on TV, if you had 700 points, you'd go insane. Of course, now 1.5%. To put that into context, the S&P is up 1.3%. Similarly, that's quite a lot. The NASDAQ is up 1.1%. Again, those are big moves up, somewhat due to peace in Eastern Europe, somewhat due to the Federal Reserve saying that there is room for further cuts soon. Every time they say interest rates could be cut, and that is the most important factor moving stock prices at the moment after the positive Nvidia news, then the weighting you should give to that is more than anything else. So when they say stock interest rates might be cut soon, markets are going to soar. Why? Well, cost of borrowing decreases, cost of borrowing for companies, for individuals, so they've got more money to spend, more profits. Guess what? Stocks go up. It might not be December, though. That balance of ambiguity is keeping the carrot in front of the donkey's head, and that's good. Oil prices dropped because of the Ukraine peace plan. Oil prices drop. Everyone's got more money in their pockets. Stock market goes up. So again, the peace dividend is a very good positive there as well. Amazon has said they're going to cut thousands of engineers in layoffs. Now, incredibly profitable company. Laying off engineers is perversely positive news because it should mean more profit margins for the shareholders, the capitalist. Okay? And they say they need to innovate faster. Clearly, they feel some degree of bloat. They're not cutting costs because they've got profit problems or margin problems. So I think the market will see that as very much a positive story for the stock. Looking at the past week, before I go into the daily elements again, over the past week, Microsoft is down 7%, but Alphabet is up 7%. So I'm going to suggest to you what I normally almost always say is 1 week is noise when you're looking at a year ahead. So do not be panicked into short-term action in that. One thing is clear, though. If money's going to be moving out of technology, and it's not, except on an occasional week here and there, healthcare is where it seems to be going to, or what's called consumer defensives, such as Walmart, Coca-Cola, and the like. Okay, as opposed to, and I put in there Procter & Gamble as well. I wouldn't be buying those myself. Equally, I don't buy healthcare just because of sector rotation, which is great for journalists to talk about, but is great also for gamblers. In other words, we're not interested in that. What we want is resilient companies regardless of the sectors they're in. We want companies with good amount of profits compared to their share price, good year-on-year revenue growth projections and historic, so some degree of consistency. And when they fall, if they fall, they rebound relatively quickly. In other words, there is a wall of money happy to get in at lower prices. So what else have we got on there? Gold and silver have dropped off somewhat. Now, this is because there were more jobs created. So the idea is if there's more jobs, the economy is strong, we don't need stability and safety by holding gold. Not only that, of course, Gold's had a massive rally. Some people are getting bored. Boredom and panic are the two main reasons people sell. Yeah, bored. You're not getting the kind of returns you were getting week on week. So again, looks like more short-term noise. Too early to say if it's a longer-term decline on gold. Bitcoin, 7-month low. I would still wait. Well, I'm definitely going to be waiting before buying into that. So I'll continue holding what I've got in it, but I'm not in any rush to buy into it at the moment. What else have we got on the macro side? Well, as I said, what they call non-farm payrolls, more jobs were created than was expected. Trump will love that. The man should deserve a Nobel Prize in economics if you can raise tariffs and still get a stock market at all-time highs, consumer spending holding up, price inflation not that bad, jobs being created. That all of that goes against conventional economic theories. And the reason that it might take some people by surprise is, again, a reason of economics. People have cognitive biases. They don't like the man, so they don't like the economics, and they don't want it to work. If the experiment actually works, and it's a big if it actually works, because as he's raised taxes, i.e. tariffs, consumers have still managed to find money to spend and interest rates come down, then he's reduced the budget deficit and balance of trade. In other words, he hasn't collapsed global trade as conventional economists said. And you can almost divide the economists into two categories on this. There's the old-fashioned ones, traditional economists, probably educated on textbooks of the 50s, 60s, maybe even 70s, and they look at theory, okay? And then you've got the more behavioral scientists who look more at, well, how do people actually behave in reality? And they've learnt on textbooks from the 90s and the noughties, and they're more accurate. So what looks to be happening for Trump is, well, you can see it from the stock market, greater profits for companies despite increased tariffs. Now, I'm not sure if he's an economic genius, but one thing he does understand is human behavior, and that's the way economics is going. So anyway, Nobel Prize in economics for him if this continues. That's very hard for people to swallow. If you find yourself triggered by that statement, it's probably not the economics you disagree with, it's probably the cognitive biases that you don't like the man. And if you can separate the two, you can make money. If you can't separate your emotions and personal individual dislikes from the evidence in front of us, then you probably won't make money. What else have we got happening over here? I'm going to ignore Japan because it's really not relevant for US markets. Sterling US dollar cable, so 1.3. It's a little bit lower because of weak UK retail sales. That is pure noise in the short term. Oil has fallen over 1%. Brent crude is down over 1%. Great news going into our winter. More money in your pockets. Your energy bills aren't going to soar. You're going to survive well, and possibly because of this so-called peace deal in Eastern Europe. Let's face it, the Middle East peace plan is still pretty much holding, okay? So he's doing well. If we do get peace in Eastern Europe, it'll be good for the oil market, certainly good for the stock market, let alone the amount of defense spending that Japan and the Germans will both increase. Remember, the three main Second World War allies, Italy, Japan, and Germany, of those three, Germany and Italy were basically prohibited from building up offensive military weaponry. That's changing. Japan as an ally of the United States and the West, and finds an adversary in China, and similarly Germany because of NATO and the needs of Ukraine. That would mean more defense spending, but that's sector-based. I'm still going to go by the individual companies. What they definitely need is more spending on cybersecurity, is why companies like Palo Alto Networks and those will continue doing well, and Palantir as well. And that spending will increase because a lot of the offensive military activity that they're repelling is coming on the cyber front, not just from missiles. Okay, so if you're thinking, well, what do we buy? Do we buy Raytheon? No, it's probably the cybersecurity companies on that front. Looking ahead, what do we have? Well, we've got some talks from Federal Reserve people, and you'd think, surely US central bankers speaking is not where the excitement's at, Alpesh. I'm afraid it is. That factor at the moment, at least in the near term right now, is a more impactful weighting on the movement of stock prices than earnings, because we're not in earnings season anymore. We're pretty much out of it. There's no big earnings coming out. So what's the market going to sniff around? Those Federal Reserve rates. If you've got resilient stocks, none of this matters to you. So I hope that was helpful. Have a look at, and don't forget to comment. If you want a free copy of one of my 18-odd books, go to campaignforamillion.com. Please comment if you like these. If you comment, the algorithm on TikTok and YouTube picks that up, and therefore I get more views. If I get more views, it's worth doing. Nobody likes speaking to an empty room. Even if it's a thumbs up, if you save this, costs you nothing, then the algorithm picks it up. If you share it, the algorithm picks it up. Saving is probably weighs more than commenting. If you repost it, even more so. Okay, so all of those things, if you follow and you like and all of those things, the algorithm picks it up. I get more views. I then look at it and I think, yeah, I think I'll do another one of these broadcasts. So thank you very much indeed. I really appreciate it. We're going well. Have a look at my campaign for $1 million to teach 1 million people through online education for free how to improve their investing and gain an extra $1 million into their savings and pensions across their lifetimes. 1 million times 1 million, that's $1 trillion. Okay, thank you very much. And like I said, please like, follow, subscribe, because then I know, and this gets bumped up, and we'll look at the average figures and then make a decision whether we continue the daily updates or not. Thank you all very much. Really appreciate the positive comments I've been getting on these. Please keep them coming. I'm only human. I love positive comments. I am only human. So thank you all very much.